Hey Zay, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be rating the lamest excuses for cheating I can find on Reddit. Cheating should not be allowed. I feel like you should have a immediate execution if you even think about doing it, but unfortunately it is not a thing, so what do you do? But before we get into these lame excuses though, hit big 3 for me and then add on follow me on all of my socials at Hey Zay Official. And when the profile picture is this face, you'll know that you're in the right place. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So the question that this person had asked was, what is the most ridiculous excuse a partner has given you for cheating? And this girl, boy, they, them went in. So she said, or they said, because I don't know the gender, my most recent ex decided it would be a good idea to tell a woman he had a semi-sexual relationship with and was still friends with that he loved. Wait. Hold on. I promise I can read. Hold on. I don't think I read it right. Hold on. My most recent ex decided it would be a good idea to tell a woman he had, a semi-sexual relationship with and was still friends with that he loved her more than he loved me and that he thought that maybe they were a kind of soulmate to him. That, am I tripping or does that sentence not make sense? We're going to move on. His excuse was that his best friend had died unexpectedly a month before and he was just in a bad place, needing to feel loved and important. I didn't hear that. His excuse was that his best friend had died unexpectedly. What? Unexpectedly, there we go, a month before, and he was just in a bad place, needing to feel loved and important. God forgive me, but your best friend is rolling over in his grave. Or their grave, because I don't know the best friend's gender either. Cheating because your best friend died unexpectedly? Are we serious? Okay. But I had been trying to offer him love and care, and he had been stonewalling and pushing me away. So you were trying to be okay. So let me wait. This woman also lives on the opposite coast and is someone he'd never ever even seen in person via video chat. Okay, so let me break all this down. The woman that he cheated on you with is on the opposite coast. So y'all are on one coast and she's on the opposite coast. And he's only ever seen the person in video chat. He had relations with this woman because his best friend died unexpectedly and he needed love and care. He needed to feel loved and important. He had also been avoiding you and rejecting the love and care that you could give to him through the difficult time he was going through to go get it from the woman from the opposite coast. Respectfully, kill this man. Cut his throat. Electric chair immediately. Put it on the highest voltage. Because your best friend died, you need to go spread your legs or spread somebody's legs that isn't your partner's. What be wrong with people? What be... Period. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's another one. Oh, it says that it's insane and disgusting, so be aware. My boyfriend of then 3 years hooked up with my friend We're going to stop right there. Your friend electrocute both of them. The both of them. Cut both of their heads off. Then came home and pressured me into hooking up, then text her and was like, I screwed her with you still on me. Then came home and pressured me into hooking up, then text her and was like, I screwed her with you still on me. Ooh. Oh.
A nigga would've had me fucked up on every motherfucking level in life.
I want him on a shirt. I want him on a shirt. This done brought tears to my eyes. Hold on. That man said, I hooked up with her, but you still on me. Oh, no. Okay. Let me stop being dramatic. Let me keep going. Lord Jesus. Do I even want to keep going? Oh my gosh. He pressured you into doing it, number one. So he had a mission. He was on a mission. He went and did the do with the friend, and then he came home and pressured you into doing the do with him. Just so he could go text a friend that I just got through doing the do with her while you were still on. A man would have had me all types of messed. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get through. When I found the text, I was so outraged and disgusted. I screamed my head off at him and called him a sociopath. And he told me it was not his fault. He just had a strong desire to get revenge because his ex-girlfriend stood him up for the 8th grade dinner dance. We were 24. What? You man, I can't even. Hold on. Let me prop the phone back up. Hold on. So let me digest all of this. So you were in a relationship with a man, a bum. That's not a man, that's a bum. That's a bum. And the last person was a bum too. You were in a relationship with a bum, in all capital letters, for 3 years. And that bum of 3 years hooked up with your friend, came home, and proceeded to do the doom with you while your friend was still on his tallywhacker. How did I call it a tallywhacker? And then he told you that he did all of that to get back at an ex-girlfriend because the ex-girlfriend stood him up for an 8th grade dinner dance. His reason of doing all that was to get back at an ex-girlfriend who stood him up a decade ago. Y'all were 24. If you're in the 8th grade, you're 13. 14 if your birthday's late. So you're... Get out my face. Get my face. Get my face. Get out my face.
That's a good joke, ain't it? Fuck out my motherfucking face. Ain't shit funny right now. I could tear down a fucking building.
All right. He told me I forced him to be exclusive with me. AKA, he told me I love you. No one has ever made me feel so loved before. You're the light of my life. I love you so much, but I am scared to be exclusive because I've been cheated on before. To which I reassured him I won't ever cheat after hearing his supposed sob story of his last relationship, but then he did the same things and worse that his ex apparently did to him. So he didn't want to be in a relationship because he was scared of being cheated on. And then he turned around and cheated on. Okay, period. Let's do this one. Okay, one time an ex pounded on my door at 2 a.m. and I thought there was an emergency, so I let him in. They were chewing on their lips, demanding to know what I was doing on the computer. And the person was asleep with their kids. When I told him I didn't feel safe and I wanted him to leave, they backed me into the corner and yelled in my face with their mouth about 2 inches from my nose. They said, "You telling me that you don't feel safe makes me feel like a bad person. I know I'm not a bad person, so you're gaslighting me." Well, that's not really a cheating story, but that's stupid. You come to my house 2 o'clock in the morning, you're boom, 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 booming on the door. And when I tell you that I don't feel safe and I want you to leave, you're going to say, "Oh, I'm not a bad person. You're making me seem like a bad person. You're gaslighting me." Baby, gaslighters have learned what the word they've learned a sliver of what the word gaslighting means. And baby, they just throw that word like confetti. Narcissistic buttholes, they just be, "Oh, you're gaslighting, you're gaslighting, you're gaslighting, you're gaslighting." The whole time you're the gaslighter. Moving on. Okay, here's another one. The most ridiculous excuse an ex has given for cheating is that he and I were long distance at the time, and it was just so hard for him. So hard. I couldn't even comprehend how hard it was. It was so hard that he had to go out and hire a sex worker. Oh. Wow. But really, he was the victim because he was suffering so much because we were long distance. So I needed to focus all my attention on soothing him and making him feel better about the cheating. That situation right there is one of the reasons why I will never, ever, 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 ever do long distance. Ever. Because if I'm in Alabama and you in Florida, Georgia, or anywhere else other than Alabama, or even if you're in Alabama, if it's in a different city, there is no possible way that if I accuse you or like I think you're doing something, I'm not going to be able to get to you in time to prove my accusations. Say they learn to do the noop with somebody, right? And you can feel it in your gut, like your mind's been telling you all day. You just got a feeling. There's no possible way that you're going to be able to get to them in time to catch them doing the doom, to get your proof. So I just don't. And then another thing, like, you can do whatever you want in your city, and he can do whatever he wants in his, and neither of you are going to find out what y'all are doing because y'all are long distance. Like, if you're in one city and he in another, you could be having relations with this man. You could be riding with this man. You could be doing this with this man. He ain't gonna be able to know because he ain't gonna be able to get to you in time. Like, if he call you, say, "Hey, I know you doing something, I'm on the way," you're gonna be able to get rid of them folks just in time before he comes. And then you're gonna make him look stupid. Same thing if a dude was to do it. He can do with this. He can do whatever you want with this girl and that girl and this girl and that girl down the street. But if you were to call him, tell him, "Hey, I'm on the way," he's going to be able to get rid of all his evidence, the girls, just in time before you pull up to his house. So long distance, I just don't think I could trust somebody enough to do long distance. I ain't got time. And then if you cheat, I got to cut your head off. And it's a whole thing. So let me go ahead on. Okay, here's a story. It's not this person's, but it is a story. So, the person says that it's cheating related. Actually, I'm just going to read it. "Not my story, but something a friend of mine is dealing with right now. Not even sure what to call this, but it's cheating related. Wasn't even her partner, just someone she thought was her friend, but he had F-zoned her. He's married and so is she. She's polygamous. What the heck that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that word is. That's a big word for Elmo. That's a big word.
That's a big word.
Newly so, but is healthy. Everyone knows about each other, etc. And he is very much not. He has cheated on his wife multiple times, and she has zero interest in him in a sexual way because of this, and saw this as his burden to work on with his therapist. Well, he found out, there we go, about her partner, the one she isn't married to, and flew off the handle and became super abusive and tried to tell her how much he loved her and they needed to be together and it's either me or him, etc. Like, okay, I'm so lost. Like, okay. I'm sure his monogamous wife would be thrilled about that. He can't seem to understand that her husband knows about her partner and are actually friends, and everyone is happy, and they were never seeing each other like that. She made it extremely clear to him several times. He emailed the pastor at their church and basically tried to blow up her life because she didn't want to sleep with him. So the dude who's polygamous, is the girl's friend from church who found Jesus because he had an affair with a Christian woman and she converted him. So I guess the excuse was Jesus made me do it. His excuse to his wife was that my friend from church has a poly partner that's not me and I got so jealous so I tried to harass her into having relations with me. My friend has finally cut him off. It's really been a long time coming as there have been... Okay. Everybody needs to go repent, pastor included. Okay, wait. Let's read this one. One of my exes cheated on me because he didn't want me to go with him to his brother's wedding, and he cheated on me because he was there without me. His words when I dumped him. The wedding was in New York, and we were living in Florida. So to recap, he cheated on me because of the situation he created, which was probably created to cheat on me in the first place. Those two are married now. Oh. The ex before cheated on me to help his co-worker decide/discover her sexuality. Apparently she thought she was gay. Thank goodness she was at legal consent age, albeit barely at the time. Those two got married and I think they still are. Wow. Period. All right, let's do this one. I wasn't there for him when his grandmother died. I get so sick of people who thinking that cheating is a good excuse for whenever a loved one has passed away. Like, you got that loved one rolling in their grave. Be so for real. After we'd separated because of his abuse 9 weeks prior, when he didn't even bother to tell me she wasn't doing well in the several days leading up to her death, when I did find out because I happened to text him moments after it happened, he responded with aggression, threatening language, and threats. The woman he cheated with was a counselor at the place he had done rehab 13 years ago, with whom he had maintained an emotionally intimate relationship, confiding in her every time he and I had issues in our relationship. Ooh. So, he went with her because she knew everything that was going on in y'all household. That's why he was so close with her. Moving on. He suggested to have relations with said counselor. So him, the wife, and the counselor. Y'all, yeah. With her a few years into our relationship when I realized I was bi. He also suggested I talk to her because she was also bi and could be someone to talk to who could relate. And the two of them tried several times over our 9 years together to arrange a way for me to meet her. We're currently divorcing, period. So what happened here? Mimo died. Rest in peace, Mimo. He went to cheat with a counselor that had been counseling him when he had to do rehab 13 years ago. 13 years ago. Wanted to have relations with the wife and the rehab counselor at the same time. So him, the wife, the counselor, 3 people. And he only wanted to do it because the wife was by and the counselor was by. And they both tried to arrange a meeting with the wife over the span of 9 years. Okay. The person who is telling the story is a dude. So my girlfriend and I had been dating for about 4 years. I was way more into her than she was me at the beginning. We lived in LA, which has its own complications for couples. She was into finding something that would fill a void in her life, so was looking into landmark education. How the heck do you say that word? Esoteric churches and nearly Scientology. What? I promise I graduated. I promise I did. I graduated with honors, but sometimes I do be a little delayed. Scientology? Okay. I did my best to be the answer, but that was impossible. I started to pull away and give up. We were having issues, and she asked if she could explore a same gender relationship just to try it. In another world, I might have been okay or even encouraging, but I didn't like the person she wanted to explore with. I felt she was predatory and gross. Grandma's scared. I told her she could do whatever she wanted. It's her life, but I didn't like it or think it would help. But I wasn't going to tell her what she could do. I considered it cheating and felt she was being manipulated. Had I been a stronger person, I would have ended it, but I tried sticking it out. Okay. All right. Let me say here that I was certainly not perfect. We were mid-20s and both not emotionally equipped to be in a serious relationship. Okay. I can somewhat understand that. After her experimentation, I definitely wait a minute, hold on. I promise I can read. After her experimentation, I definitely pulled away and stopped working so hard to make things work between us. The balance shifted and she saw me pulling back and tried harder. What should have been something that was positive just disgusted me. I felt like I felt like now that I had pulled back and she noticed and started trying harder, I realized I wasn't respected the whole time I was pursuing her. Again, had I been wiser, I should have ended it. Longer stories, I didn't. I thought I loved her, probably did, was probably stupid and infatuated and trying too hard to make something work that never would. Anyway, shortly after she was going on a family vacation to Italy for a ski trip. I was invited but couldn't afford to go and honestly didn't want to for more reasons than just our relationship difficulties. So she left and we called and we talked for the first few days and then communication dropped off. I was probably already emotionally gone. When she got back, we soon after had relations and she asked me to wear a condom. We had been together for 4 years and she was in... Okay, wait a minute. That sentence don't make sense to me. We had been together for 4 years and she was in because... So, that was... What? Wait. We had been together for 4 years and she was in because so that was out of nowhere. But... All right. Because horny 20-something I did and asked her why after. Then began the conversation and me not being a great person. But we talked and she admitted to blowing an Italian dude while she was there and then admitted to sleeping with him. What? Lord Jesus. You did what? You did what? Okay, keep in mind, I had been pulling away. We didn't have an open relationship, but the only rules I had was that we be honest with each other, and that if she ever had relations with another man, she was safe. I asked her if they used a condom, and she said no. That's why she wanted you to use a condom, because she didn't use one with Mr. Italy. Okay. And that's when I broke. We were in the kitchen drinking, and I threw my glass. Not proud of that. That's when I knew she didn't respect me. I mean, I should have known earlier. And that's when I was done. All right. Excuse me. I did actually go to couples therapy a couple times with her because, I don't know, we lived together. Sunk cost fallacy. I don't know. I thought I loved her. I did, but we would just never work, and it was heartbreaking, but I had to respect myself. If you're still here, this is the answer to your question. When I asked her why she did it, she said that she thought it could make us closer. Or she thought it would make us closer. Hold up. Wait, you thought cheating on your partner was going to make y'all's relationship? Now, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I support women's rights and women's wrongs, okay? If it's a situation happening, trust no and believe. I'm going to trust the woman until proven otherwise. This right here, this here, sister, if you watching this video, if this story is about you, if you went to Italy and had relations with a man, and then your man asked you, hey, did you wear a condom? You told him no. If this is about you, sister, I want you to know you are a disgrace to the woman community. Do you hear? You have me defending a man? You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. May all your quick weaves be done too quick. May all your acrylic nails be done crooked. May both sides of your pillows be warm. May your lashes on the left look better than the right. May they look like cousins and not twins. You have me defending a man. A man. All right. Maybe that was the final nail. I just couldn't conceive how she would possibly think that. Now, for more info, her dad was a raging alcoholic. She was probably, I don't want to say that word. She was probably, what's a better way to say this? What's a better way to say that word? I don't want to say that word. It starts with an M. Hopefully that can be all the information you need. It starts with an M. Yeah, I don't want to. As a child or young teen, she was working through a lot of stuff. I wasn't perfect, but I did my best. But I wasn't mature enough or equipped to really help, and I was a dumb young man. I read books about adult children of alcoholics, and there's an abbreviation here. I don't know. Actually, let me look that up real quick. What does that abbreviation mean? Hold on. It's FWIW. I don't know what that word means. I'm just a girl. Hold on. What does it say? For what it's worth. Okay. All right. See? Duh. Okay. Where was I? Okay. And for what it's worth, I tried my best with what I knew at the time. And now for the happy ending, we stayed friends. A couple years later, she went to Burning Man with one of my best friends who was going through a divorce while we were splitting. And she went to college with both of them, and they got together. My friend was in tears because of probable bro code BS. But I had told them both that they should date because they were both on similar paths. I told them they more than had my blessing, and they didn't need it. Although I was happy for them and invited, I didn't go to their wedding. They are still married and have 2 awesome kids. We stay in touch, and believe it or not, it's not weird. It's probably the most hurt I've ever been, but we never would have worked, and I'm glad things worked out how they did. I still can't effing believe she thought cheating would help us get closer. I don't know why I wrote all this, and thanks for reading if you got this for. So she went to Italy and had relations with an Italian man with no condom, right? Came back to you and told you, hey, yeah, I didn't use a condom, and I only did it because I thought it would bring us closer. You are friends with the dummy. The dummy is married to one of your friends. One of your best friends. They're married and they have 2 kids. And it's not weird. But you're cool about it though. Like, you don't care. You better than me. You better than me. I wish a man would try and cheat on me with an Italian girl and tell me that, oh, I thought it would bring us closer, and then try and get with my best friend. Even though I know my best friend would never go for that anyway. And kudos to the best friend for thinking about, okay, yeah, I don't really want to date somebody that you broke up with because, bro code, girl code, blah, blah, blah. But matter of fact, maybe I'm just not mature enough. Because I want the best friend head. I want the Italian dude's head. I want the girl who cheated on me head. And truth be told, I want the mom and daddy head too. Because why you make her? Why was she not swallowed? Let me tone it down some. This is the end of today's video. Reddit has stressed me out. Which one of these stories did y'all think was the craziest one? Mine was the 8th grade dinner one. I think that was the craziest one. Because what the heck you mean you're trying to get back at somebody who was 13, 14 years old and you're 24? Yeah. This is the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, you should have hit the big 3 for me at the beginning of the video. And if you didn't, that means 2 things. Number 1, you don't listen at all. What's your problem? And number 2, you need to do it now, right now, today, before that bad screen plays. Follow me on all of my socials at HeyIsItOfficial, and with the profile picture is this face, you'll know that you're in the right place. And with all that being said, I love y'all, and I will see y'all later.